So if you are jumping in the real estate market or you've been in the real estate market trying to buy or sell a house over the past 18 months, it is tough right now. The housing market's going through the roof, prices are appreciating, interest rates are going up, and then you're getting hit at the gas pump. The headlines all are talking about an imminent housing bubble burst. The market's going to crash. People don't know what to do. They don't know whether they should back off and wait for things to settle down or whether they should push forward and deal with the rejection of their offers not getting accepted in hopes that next time will be the one. Well, that's what I wanted to clarify today, give you some honest insight on what is actually happening, cut through the nonsense of the headlines to give you the facts so that you can make your decision on whether now is a good time to buy or sell, or whether you should wait, shelve it, and revisit it at a later date. So on a daily basis, there's a new article coming out that says the market's going to crash and the housing bubble's going to burst. And there are people that will call me and buyers that are worried, what should I do? What should I do? Should I pull out? Should I wait? So the market is absolutely in a turmoil. There is so much going on between the housing prices rising, the interest rates rising, and inflation rising. And this is a lot of unknown area that we're entering into. And the economists are doing the best they can to try to predict. Sometimes the media gets on that bandwagon and they just sensationalize what's actually going on. So I wanted to kind of break down what is happening, starting with a look at the history of the recession, because there is a lot of comparison between now and 2008 and what happened with the market crash, where we are now currently, and what our best guess is for the forecast going forward. So if we look at what happened in the recession of 2008 in the housing market, there are some stark differences between then and now. The mortgage market caused that recession, and there were a number of things at play that led up to that market crashing. With the mortgage market, it was super easy to get money. Very easy. They did not do background checks. They did not do credit verifications. You could go in with a no-income documentation loan where they didn't even check your records. They didn't check your income records. You could just state. It was called a stated income loan, where you wrote down exactly what you thought you made, gave it to the lender. They didn't check it. They said, oh, you made $200,000 a year? Great. That sounds good, reasonable, great, you qualify. That was it. Now, it is harder. It is harder than ever to get pre-approved for a mortgage, regardless whether you're doing 5% down, 10% down, 50% down. They check everything.
No, God, please, no, no!
And I have been feeling this pain with my clients that are doing large down payments. They say, why do we keep asking for this documentation? Why do they keep wanting more documentation? Is because it is harder to get a loan now than it was in 2008. Another difference is the fact that there was low equity. People were coming in with very, very little money. So they got qualified on a whim. They probably shouldn't have been getting the mortgage in the first place. And they had no down payment or very little down payment. So they went into it, bought the property, and as soon as the market started to tip, immediately they went underwater. They had no cushion to catch their fall when the property values adjusted. What's different now is that people are coming in with much larger down payments. I'm seeing 5%, 10%, 20%, 50% down. People are pulling equity out of their homes because they've been in their homes longer. People are staying in their homes longer than they were pre-recession 2008. So there's more equity built up for them to build on. They're taking that equity out, number one. Number two, the millennials are coming to the table. They've been saving for a number of years. They're of age. They are the largest segment of the buyer population right now, and they've got cash. Baby boomers, Gen Xers, they are upsizers, downsizers. They are selling, capitalizing on the increasing sale prices, the increasing values, and they're able to take a good chunk of money and put it down so that they're not going into these mortgages with 95% financing. We're just not seeing a ton of that right now. And what that means is you have a bigger cushion. When you have a bigger cushion, when the market corrects, you're going to be able to ride it out. And then lastly, there was more inventory. If we look at how much inventory was on the market in 2006 versus what is on the market now, there are approximately 278 homes on the market right now in all of Plymouth County. At 2006, during the 2006 market, right before the market crashed, we went into recession, there were 2,490 homes on the market. Now, if we look at what was on the market in 2019, pre-pandemic, there were 1,073 homes. 1,073 homes versus 2006, 2,490 homes. The market was very bloated. So we had an abundance of inventory, and we had people that were qualified for homes that probably shouldn't been buying homes. That's what contributed to the market collapsing, which is not what's happening now. So what is happening right now in the real estate market? Well, I will tell you that inventory is slowly starting to increase. I have seen over the last couple weeks more homes coming on the market. There are still a ton of buyers that are out there that haven't been able to buy a home that are bidding up on these homes, but the market has changed. Interest rates have edged out a few buyers. Some buyers are taking a break because they're scared, they're nervous about what's happening in the news, and they're unsure on whether they should wait. So those buyers are leaving the market, which is shrinking it a little bit. There are still a ton of buyers out there. Now, if we look at what's happening in Plymouth County right this very minute, as of this morning, there are approximately 279 homes on the market. If we look at a year ago, there were 299 homes on the market. So that's a deficiency of about 6.69%. What does that mean to give you some kind of comparison? If we look at what happened 2 weeks ago, there were 240 homes on the market versus 292 homes at the same time last year. That was a variance of 17%. So 2 weeks ago, we were about 18% behind where we were a year ago in inventory. As of today, we're only about 8%. More homes are coming on the market. I usually pull my data on Wednesday. Homes come on the market more often than not are listed Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, shown over the weekend. Contracts are signed, under agreement, marked pending, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday is always a good day to pull data. I find that to be the most reliable to kind of give you a snapshot on what's actually happening on the market. And overall, we're definitely seeing more homes to choose from, more selections. I'm getting more phone calls from buyers, that want to attend open houses and schedule showings, more so than I did 2-3 weeks ago. So what about interest rates? Interest rates are increasing, and we're expecting several more increases by the Fed through the end of the year. As we sit right now, mortgage applications are actually down about 41% from last year. And what that tells us is that fewer buyers are going to be looking in the near future. 30 days, 60 days from now, we're going to see fewer buyers competing for the same number of houses. This is actually good news. You'll be competing against fewer buyers. There'll be a little bit more homes to choose from. Does this mean a market crash? No, but it's good news for buyers because they'll get a little breathing room. Are you still going to be competing against other buyers? Yes, but it won't be as crazy as it has been over the last year. So what does this all mean, and is it a good time to buy or sell? Well, as I mentioned, the rates are going to continue to increase. I don't think we can get around that. As long as inflation increases, the Fed's going to try to dampen that by slowly increasing interest rates. And that will mean that you will pay more for the same house. If you're taking a $500,000 loan for principal and interest only, at a 4.5% interest rate, you're looking at about $2,533 a month. An increase of 1% to 5.5% for that same 30-year mortgage would push your rate up to $2,839 for the same mortgage. So it is going to impact people. It is going to impact buyers and change their buying decisions. You may want to talk to your lender about an adjustable rate mortgage or an ARM. These programs are really great and give people options if you're not going to be in the home for a very long time. So, for example, you may want to look at a 10-year ARM. If you're looking to only be in the house for less than 10 years, you could capitalize on a lower interest rate and then sell before that interest rate adjusts. Now, there's a lot of talk of a pending recession, and it is very possible that we will go into an economic recession, not a housing recession. And if we head into a recession, what will likely happen is the Fed will actually ease the rate. And this will actually bring rates down and maybe a great opportunity for home buyers to refinance, get out of those interest rates, and possibly get into a rate in the high 2s, low 3s. So at the end of the day, some home buyers will be forced out of this market. The buyer pool is going to slightly shrink, not dramatically, just slightly shrink, as some buyers are just going to be priced out. Home buyers that are struggling to get into a first-time home buyer home at these prices, with prices continually rising and interest rates rising, they'll find themselves in a tough situation. And unfortunately, some of those buyers are going to have to take a step back, and I don't have a solution for that. We do need affordable housing. We have a big affordable housing issue in this country. There is not enough for those buyers. Those buyers are going to be a casualty as interest rates go up. But if you're a move-up buyer, if you are someone that is a move-up or move-down buyer, you currently own a home, you're looking at selling and buying, this whole market is going to be an incredible opportunity for you because prices will continue to rise. And as I've said before in my other videos, a buyer and seller never times their move for their family on the market. If it's the right time to buy, the right time to sell, you're going to do it. You're going to look at what financially you can afford. And that would be my advice. Look at your budget. Create a budget if you don't have one. Look at your budget. See what you can afford. You may have to adjust your budget based on the market. If the market is moving in a direction where the interest rates are going up, you may have to move the line and look at a smaller home. But that doesn't mean that buyers won't buy and sellers won't sell. Even when things were at its worst in 2008, when the market tanked, values dropped 30%, 35%, depending on where you were in the country. Things were awful. The market still continued. I have not stopped working in 27 years. People always will buy and sell regardless of the market. So if you decide to wait because you're spooked on the news, that's fine. But I will tell you, if now is the right time for your family, turn off the news. Look at your finances, look at your budget, talk to your financial advisor, talk to your mortgage rep, find the right area that you're looking in, what's good for your family, and don't stop. Move forward, persevere. It's not going to get any easier. It is extremely hard to be a buyer right now. It will continue to be challenging. We hope with these recent changes, things will be a little bit less challenging, but it is going to continue to be a challenging market for the foreseeable future. But if you set your goals for providing for your family and you're making that commitment to invest in your future, make that commitment to jump into home ownership and really create a portfolio that is the best way to hedge against inflation, then I would say move forward, put the blinders on, and make the jump. The key to succeeding in this market is doing your homework, doing your research, and knowing what your options are going into making an offer. Check out this video for 5 tips for writing a competitive offer. It will absolutely help you gain an edge over your competition. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.